What's going on, everybody? Ian Fernando here. I'm starting this new podcast with a buddy of mine, or just randomly with a really good friend that I met overseas. And I kind of want to talk about like travels. I'm trying to merge out of marketing a little bit and talk about traveling, differences between the worlds of Western and Eastern culture, and what I see from perspective. I have my buddy here, Sean. He's a menace. He's a menace.
Wuhan Sean.
Oh man, I actually met Sean in
What's up, everybody?
you know, and he just got full energy. Like he definitely can turn an empty room into a club just by himself, which is a lot of power in my opinion. You know, so Sean, what's up? How you been?
Too easy to do. Good. What's up? Just here currently in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City, and
Yeah, it's all lockdown in there, right?
yeah, we're actually on a lockdown. We've been on lockdown, and then now we're on a more serious lockdown, which entitles us to not riding around the city. You can't exercise. You shouldn't be outside unless you're buying food or getting money from the bank. There are roadblocks and blockades and police checking papers to make sure that you should be out, either going to work or going to get, well, they can't tell if you're going to get food, but they are fining people. There have been businesses that have been allowing work, and I guess they've already made like $50,000 in fines. So
Oh man,
it's very, and it's scary. It's actually, well, it looks scary.
I mean, I've seen some pictures and it looks like total ghost town. Like, are you not allowed? How long is it? For 2 weeks? Is it 1 month?
They're saying for 2 weeks, and I believe today is day 3. So uh, it's weird. All the stores are out of food. Like there wasn't any chicken today, any meat, any beef. What do you call it? And then what else? There's nobody outside. Like it's so quiet and like dark, and it's so weird. Nothing like Saigon or Vietnam has ever been like.
Yeah, like I was there, years ago, and man, it was just thriving. There's a lot of people there, and man, this pandemic just changed a lot of stuff. Like even here in Colombia, I was actually, let me just back up. Like when I was actually in Vietnam and living, I actually had to go to a conference in Russia. And then once I was going to come fly back, I actually got locked out.
That's when it happened, right? That's when
Yeah, that's when it happened. I got locked out. And I was like, oh man, where do I go? Where do I go? So I'm like, let me go to somewhere in Europe. And then at the airport, Portugal closed borders. And then I'm like, man, I don't know where to go. I don't feel like really safe for where to go. So I decided to go back to the States. And I was just sad in the States. So, and then I went to Puerto Rico.
How long were you there for? You were,
Yeah, just 3 months, and I couldn't handle it, man. It's just a different
okay.
world. Even during the pandemic, it was still semi-open. New Jersey was you're able to go out, walk, and chill. It wasn't as strict as where I
But
think Asia been.
not the same, right? It was just,
Yeah, it's not the same,
yeah,
man.
not the same.
It's just different, and it was cool. After like 3 months, I'm like, I gotta go. So I went to Puerto Rico, and I almost stayed there for almost a year. And then I was like, man, San Juan is just so small. I need to go somewhere else. And
Yeah.
Colombia at that time, at the time in April, it was fully open, no issues at all. But at the time I landed here, they went into a 1 month semi-lockdown where on the weekends you're not allowed to go out, right? And everything closed at
But during the week, you could like go out and
yeah, and then but there was curfew at 8 and 10 o'clock depending on the day, and then depending on your ID number, every other odds and even numbers were allowed to go food shopping, go to the bank, etc. And then luckily
so
after
you did like a number to go out. It was like one day, one day, one day, one day.
yeah. So if my ID had a 0 at the end, I was allowed to go food shopping or enter the bank. If my license had a 1 in front of it, I couldn't go food shopping at that time. So I guess they were doing some sort of controlled separation. which is pretty cool. But at least they didn't really shut down the country. But then the protest was happening. People wanted to go out. People sold businesses, and opportunity came in. A lot of Western culture started buying their businesses. It's kind of bad for the country, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Because
So
people were seeing the opportunity to get it while it's cheap, huh?
yeah, exactly. And the Colombians just needed the money, and they just had to say yes, right, just to eat, which kind of sucks. You know what I mean? So, but now it's fully
It's
open. I
sad.
mean,
It's
Colombia
so sad.
is it's beautiful. Yeah, man, it is really sad. You know, it just sucks for the locals most of the
So
time.
wait, everything's open. The food, the restaurant. I mean, the restaurants, the stores, the bars, the clubs,
Yeah, girls are
the
open.
other
You know,
clubs.
yeah, pretty much. You
Oh,
know, so but yeah, it's chill. Yeah, you don't even need a PCR test to enter Colombia, which is cool anymore, or a test. You know what I
you don't
mean?
need a PCR test.
Yeah, to enter anymore. Like
Okay.
when I came from Puerto Rico, I had to enter with a PCR test. But now the country's fully open. So
Man, that's I just came back here and I got back here in January after being in America for 8 months, and I realized that after living here for 3 years and going back, I was like, I can't do this. Like I'm like California, like it was cool to be back, but it was still the same. Everyone's doing the same thing, and it was so dull and slow and gray, and people are not happy, and it, it,
yeah,
it didn't feel safe. Like I mean, like or
you
like
know,
it was
exactly.
so like I was like I can't go outside and order food or order coffee, or there's no motorbikes whizzing by, and like everyone is just kind of like you wave at them, they're like,
Yeah,
who are
dude.
you? You know?
Dude, in America, and everybody's listening in. This is the where I want the conversations and topics to be. Whereas Sean is pretty well versed in traveling. He found his home in Vietnam. I do love Vietnam a lot, right? And
Yes, you
I
do.
really like Asia for sure. But
Asia,
this
yeah, I
is
think Asia in general is a great place.
Yeah, it is for sure. And I think this is where I want this podcast series to try to go to, like the difference between this Western and Eastern culture. Like when I was in the States, I didn't really feel comfortable either. I mean, it was great seeing my friends. It's just people are just miserable with so much. But you go to Asia, you go to other
They have
countries.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
They
But then
have
you
so
see,
little and they're so happy.
yeah, look, dude, when I was in the Philippines, I felt ashamed playing basketball because I had Jordans on, sneakers, and these kids were playing barefooted or with flip flop, and they were just having a time of their life. I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to play with you guys, you know. And it's just a huge difference, you know. So like
Yeah,
tell me the stuff
I
that you
feel
in
like
California. Like what's why don't you think California is? I mean, it's a really relaxed state.
well,
It's chill.
the I mean, like it is great. It's beautiful in ways, but man, it just felt like so gray and like I mean the cost of living there is only going up, and
Yeah.
the like what you pay for there is just so just small and just not new, and you're cashing out like $2,000 $3,000 for this 2 bedroom small mini house, and like if you were to pay $2,000 $3,000 here, you're living in like a baller apartment, like 3 4 rooms, like brand new, and then the people there are just like they're working so hard, but they're struggling so much, and
Yeah.
every day you could just tell like there's a struggle, or there's like issues, or like people are trying to pay their next rent, or like just oh man, I just seen so many things that I don't like anymore, and compared to here, I'm living my best life, and like
I mean, you live your best life every day.
yeah, I mean every day is like my best life. But like I
Yeah.
figured out where I could let all my happiness and energy out like freely, and like live how I want to live daily. And that's how Vietnam grabbed me. It was like you can do this all day, every day, and you're gonna be okay. And I was like, let me stay.
Yeah, dude, I agree. Like, even when I was in Vietnam, there was no need for me to like cook food because the food everywhere is so cheap that you can literally live off $7 a day, lunch, breakfast, dinner, and a snack, right? And it's good
Yeah,
food, you know what I mean? And it's healthy,
delicious, and
fresh
you're gonna be
food.
full.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like for me, I think for me it's more
And
like I think the people gets to me all the time. The confusion of people, not the confusion of people. I want to say it's more of the interaction of people, right? People are trying to tell people what to do based on their race or religion or controversial or opinions, right? Whereas I think everybody
America is
overseas,
just
there's
boiling.
yeah. Whereas everybody overseas, there's one culture and everybody understands that culture, that they know kind of the structure, the rule sets, how to act, this and that. You know, where I think America, we're still trying to figure out what our culture is, right? We're so
Yeah,
pride
like
hungry on to like holding on to our
freedom, or
yeah, you know, or our country or our pride, that we forget like,
yeah,
dude,
or
we're in
yeah, our
America to
country.
be American, not to be Jewish. We're in America to be American, not to be Indian or Thai, right? We have to establish this culture.
Yeah, we're supposed to all be one together as Americans instead of separate, different religions or categories or people. It's
Yeah,
supposed to
definitely.
be,
That's
but it keeps seeming like it's the land of the locked up. Like
yeah, dude.
land of the
And the
trouble.
government is I mean, here's a big difference though. The government in Eastern and Western cultures are so different. Like obviously there's the issues with corrupt government overseas, but then there's the fear mongering government that we have in the States, right? It's like
Definitely.
is it the same kind of, right? You know,
Yeah.
like
I
corruption
mean, like,
versus
I mean, it's so different here. I mean, we're in Vietnam, where it's a communist country, and I mean, there are some things about the communism that is not so great, but for the most part, the country runs pretty well, and the style of it, I don't have a problem with it.
yeah, I
Like
don't
people
either.
with the president, I don't even know if it's king or president, he says something, the people listen.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
America, the president says something, and then you got people that are like yes, and then people are like f that, and then people are like, oh, never again, like he's not a president. And
Yeah.
it's just control. I feel like there is no more control.
Yeah, there isn't. It's I think we're definitely going to a socialist country in the States. I even argue this a lot. Like I even say that, man, within the next 10 to 15 years, America's gonna be a third world country, and which is gonna be a sad, sad state, man. You know what I mean? Like we're
I
just
mean,
like
like,
Russia and
of
China
course
gonna pick
now they're
up.
on the Yeah, I mean, China's already on the uprise, and they're swooping in, like on anything they can get, and they have all the money and the power, I believe, to do it. And America seems like it's slowly falling apart more and more, even though right now, it looks as if everything's getting better. I feel like if it's not one thing, it's another thing. So it just keeps repeating, repeating, repeating.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with America is more like, oh, we have this one person that's complaining. Let's not move on with our plan that 99 people agreed on because of this one person's like opinion on some sort of climate change or some sort. You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah,
that's the dangerous
definitely. Oh,
part.
climate change.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But so you permanently in
So,
Vietnam? I'm surprised.
how long have you been in?
Yeah.
Oh, what was that?
My bad. You broke up.
How long have you been in Colombia now?
I just renewed another 90 days. I'm only allowed 180 days, so I'm good for another 90 days, which is good. And then I got to figure out where to go after, which is kind of the issue. This sucks. Either I go back to Puerto Rico, maybe I go explore South America until my visa expires. But I think I'm at a point now where like I want to be in your position where like you found your home. You know what I mean? Like you found your heart. You know what I'm saying? I need to
Yeah,
figure that out.
I mean, I lived in America my whole life. I went back and realized I don't want to be here anymore. And I figured out a way. But yeah, I was like, I told my pops, I was like, Dad, I'm gonna leave again. He's like, whatever, you're happy with, whatever makes you happy. And I was like, cool, pop support, gone. And then I figured it out, and I'm happy here every single day. It's a
Besides
home
now,
away
currently, right?
except I mean, like now I'm just really bored. We've been on like I've been off like it's been lockdown for at least I think a month already, and then now it's actually a serious lockdown, and it's even like I'm just kind of going crazy a little bit. But everyone is in it. But I'm other than that, like I'm happy. I'm
Oh,
where I want to be.
so you're telling me now you're sober now? You're telling me.
I mean, I was actually, 2 weeks ago or a week ago, I wasn't drinking for like 2 weeks. I was partying a lot, and I was like, let me take a break, and so I did, and I was eating good. Oh, I am eating good still, but I wasn't drinking. But then this next lockdown hit, and it's like, well, I can only go up and down the elevator to my friend's home, so I'm like, yeah, we can have some drinks. What's it gonna hurt me? I don't have anything to do tomorrow. So yeah.
So even there you go. Of course, of course. Tiger,
Tiger King.
Yeah. So now I understand Vietnam that it's a lot of people are being kicked out, right? So how are you staying? Because I know they've been really, really strict on tourism and people entering.
Before when the first lockdown happened, their teachers just expats were worried, so they left. And then slowly, more and more have been leaving, and their companies have not been sponsoring them to stay in the country. So without the sponsorship, people have been only getting accepted exit visas. Like you have 2 weeks to get out of here. So some people have been packing it up and getting out. Someone told me they paid for like 20 days, like $145 for a 20-day extension. And then after that, he doesn't. So I'm like, but my company here, they sponsored me. And I mean, I paid to get into the country, so they should sponsor me. I hope so. I mean, I paid all that money, and they don't want me to leave. But they sponsored me. So then right now I'm on another 3-month business visa. So as long as you have a company here that will support you as far as a sponsorship, you are okay, and you can keep extending it. And then if you are not getting sponsored and your company's not by your side, people are starting to pack their bags, and the expat scene here it's growing smaller and smaller. I mean, it's kicking out the bad. And if you've been here for the long run, you're in it for you're gonna be here. But a lot of people are just they're not in it for the long run or haven't been, so they're slowly getting weeded out. And it's not great, but it's a good time for me when the gates of heaven open here, and all these ladies are going to be wondering where did they go,
Well, you probably
so
done
you should
everything.
it would be good. It's prime time for you. It's going to be prime time. People are just asking,
Yeah.
or do I go? If you could stay and survive this, like it's going to be good after, but who knows when it'll end. So
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, like some people are saying it might be another 6 months, because for some reason, they had a really good control over this pandemic, and then like better than the US and Europe. And then why the opposite? Now US is opening, Western Europe is opening, and now Asia's just getting super, super strict.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because like I left and Vietnam closed and then opened up, and then I got to America and everything was closed, and then I came back and it was open, and then now it's even worse. And like I mean, they're saying there's like 1,000 positive cases like a day, but like our death, I think there's under 100 people that have died, and I'm pretty sure all these cases are people in quarantine. So they've just been mass testing everyone, and everyone's in lockdown. So it should be secured within the next 2 weeks, hopefully.
You're hoping. You're hoping. All right, pray.
Yeah,
Pray to the beer
not just
gods.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So
Interesting. Yeah. Well, you should just come to. Well, I mean, you found your home, so I got to figure out finding my home and everything. You know what I mean? So it's
could you
interesting.
stay in Colombia any longer if you wanted to after your 90 days?
Yeah, I can. The thing is, I would either have to do get a student visa, which can let me allow you to stay for a year, only for 1 year. The thing is with me traveling, I don't want to go through the headaches, right? You know what I mean? Especially like
Oh
someone
no.
like me, it's such a headache to do paperwork and do this, and then even doing the schooling,
And they're
doing
just having to
once a week.
refile and redo.
Yeah, you know, I wish there was just like a way where um, maybe like I buy property. I mean, yeah, I can buy property and I can get a resident visa, but I just need things to be much easier. You know, like I think in your
Yeah,
situation,
I
it
mean,
was easy. You have a company sponsoring
yeah.
you, which is simple. Whereas for me, it's like, oh, I gotta do this, do that. I don't want to go to class or once a week. I don't want to show up, you know, and this
Mhm.
stuff. So I think
There's a
those are
lot
the
of hoops
difficulties
you
I
got to
have.
jump through.
Yeah, exactly. And those are the things I kind of don't want to do. You know what I mean? So, but
And I mean, well, I mean, like you said, like I found my home or what I feel like is home. I mean, have you felt anywhere you've been feels like a home you could stay like potentially for long
man,
term?
I look at it. I'll tell you, I love Vietnam. I really wanted to go to
I
Vietnam.
know.
Like Vietnam is so busy and so friendly. Like I don't know. There's something about the vibe environment where I can walk down the street, I can have street pho or just have chicken and rice, talk to the mom that's serving me on a daily basis, even though my Vietnamese is so garbage, right? And they'll still laugh at me. I don't know if it's a good laugh or a bad laugh, but you know,
But they're
it's fun.
happy, they're happy, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, here in Colombia, the weather is awesome. The women are beautiful. The food is not so good. You know what I mean?
No,
It's all right. It's typical Spanish fried food. It's all right. You know what I mean?
there's
Um,
a lot of beans and rice and
yeah, beans and rice. Yeah, you know, I can't.
yeah.
But my Spanish is actually much better because it's just an easier language to pick up. Whereas Vietnamese, aren't you fluent in Vietnamese?
I speak a good amount of Vietnamese. I'm actually still every day I'm like learning more and more. So like I'm practicing more
Oh,
and
that's what's
talking with
up.
my so yeah.
Uh,
So one day I would hope to be fluent. If I'm gonna stay here, I would like to be.
Dude,
That's what I'm.
I think you're good. I think you get by very well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'm getting back. It can get it'll get better. I want it to get better. So
that's awesome.
that's
That's awesome.
if I could rule the world if I speak fluent Vietnamese.
Yeah, I think Colombia is definitely a good spot. I think for me, I was thinking in my head to do maybe like 6 months here and then 6 months in Asia. More specifically,
Yeah.
maybe Philippines or Vietnam. But as long as I'm in
How's the
Asia,
Philippines right now?
still strict, man. They're just so corrupted that they're not even letting people get vaccinated unless they pay. You know, so
They're not letting people get vaccinated. They should be wanting to vaccinate people, right?
yeah, I know. So there's only certain people that can get vaccinated. Um, like for example, like there are cities in like the rich cities like BGC, like your people that live in BGC are allowed to be vaccinated. But
Mm.
but since poor people are not allowed to enter that city, they can't get to the hospitals. You know what I mean? So technically they're not allowed to get vaccinated. Right. And the craziest part how Philippines built their cities, like developed cities, is that they have entrance points and police guard these entrance points. And that's why you'll notice like,
In or out.
yeah, it's in or out, and they don't let any person from the barrio enter a developed city. You know what I mean? It's such a bad social
Jeez.
economics in the Philippines. Like it's really bad there. But I think they're the happiest people too, just because they're like, you know what? As long as I'm able to eat tomorrow, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See that? I mean,
No.
that's kind of like Vietnam too.
Yeah, but dude, Vietnamese people, they're working. They're working.
Yeah, yeah.
Filipino
All the
people,
like hard from 5 a.m.
yeah,
till
yeah, exactly.
right 5 a.m.
A Filipino person will look at how much money he made today, and if it's 2 o'clock and he made enough money to eat till 2 o'clock tomorrow, he stops working. You know what I mean? So that's how that's how a Filipino works. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, they're super lazy, super chill. It's because they have that beach vibe. You know what I mean? That chill, relaxed,
They're just like,
energy.
I got money. I'm good, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as if he's working from like 5 in the morning and it's like 2 p.m., even though he probably should work till like 5 p.m., like 12-hour shifts, he'll look at his money, count his money, be like, oh, you know what? I made enough to eat till 2 p.m. tomorrow already, or maybe till 3 p.m., or enough to feed my family, whatever, and then they'll just stop working. It's just the attitude there. Whereas Vietnamese, Chinese, Taiwanese, Japanese, they
They're
want to
just
work. Yeah.
Work.
That's why Philippines is considered we're the only country looked down all by Asians, right? That's why we have our own category on the checkbox. We're not Asian. We're Pacific Islanders as the Hawaiians, right? So in Asia,
Oh,
a
because
lot of
that's yeah, because Pacific Islander, yeah, like Hawaiian, they're like
yeah,
the
yeah,
same.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though we're like literally
Interesting.
below Japan, but all of Asia technically look at Filipinos as the Mexicans of Asia, right? Because we're just cheap,
That's
hard
what I've
work
heard.
labor.
The
Yeah,
Mexicans work.
they work hard. Yeah, they work hard for sure. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Filipinos that definitely work hard for sure. I mean, they're definitely, but the ones that they will just live day to day. They just want to enjoy. They want to work and enjoy life, right?
Yeah,
That's like the Filipino
that's
mentality. You know what I
I
mean?
got it. We work
So
enough and they can enjoy and then work, Okay.
yeah, so
I
yeah, but
mean,
it's such a
but they're
fun
happy,
country.
you said. Huh?
Yeah, man.
And I haven't been yet. I can't wait. When I have to go with you. When we
Yeah.
can go.
It will be a
I have to
dangerous
go with
duo
you.
for sure. Dangerous duo for
Oh,
sure.
it'll be
Uh,
yeah, definitely.
yeah. Oh man. So how's the crew over there? Let's close it up. How's the crew and everybody else out there?
So a couple so some of us are in we actually I live in the same apartment as Tom and Lewis and
Mm,
so we can go up and down to them or down and up the elevator, which is cool.
that's good.
Uh
Yeah, yeah,
it actually it's in like there's stores below, so we're living in a good place. It's pretty like sectioned off, like pretty private, so we could just go downstairs, get food, come up, and then like get alcohol if you need it, and like just move up and down. So we're
yeah,
not secluded. Some of the other boys have their Vietnamese girlfriends who won't allow them to leave the house. Well, now they can't, but before they were like, you can't see anyone. You're staying inside. You can't go out and eat or anything. So it's been interesting, but other than that, everyone's good. Just relaxing, and we haven't met all together in a long time. So it's
yeah. I know.
it's been a
Miss
little
Miss Mr. Crew. Oh well.
yeah. The crew hasn't been together for a while, man. Like at least maybe almost 2 months now, like fully together. Like
Yeah, I
so
mean everybody's pretty
it's
separated. This fucking pandemic and shit. So
yeah. And yeah,
yeah,
and like the Vietnamese take it very, very serious. And so when they like I said, when the government says lockdown, it's like, no, they're like, we're staying inside, we're scared, we're not going out. Like so.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but everyone's good. We miss you. We talk about you, and we're like, when's Ian coming
Oh,
back?
thank you guys.
Like and then I was like, yeah, I just talked to him the other day. Today I was talking to Tom. I was like, oh, I'm going to talk to Ian tonight on a podcast. And he was like, sweet. He's like, where's he at? And I was like, Colombia. He's like, Yeah.
Yeah. Helping these girls with
So
their
I know
OnlyFans.
you're doing good out there. I know you're enjoying.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I just have to figure out what to do after the next 90 days. So it's such a beautiful country. The weather is it's like April weather every day. Like not hot, not
All you like
humid.
all the time.
Yes, always. Yeah. I mean, you get rains almost every other day, but it only lasts like 5 minutes. But the weather is like I can actually
And it's
dress
like
up
it's still warmer,
fashionably.
like tropical, right?
No, it's not tropical at all. It's literally like April weather. Like it's a little bit breezy with the sun touching you, so you're cool, warm. You're not hot. You're not cold. You know,
Uh,
it's perfect. Like you can go out
uh.
sometimes with a jacket, especially at night. You know what I mean? And so. But yeah.
And like, do all the people and girls speak English, or
Nah,
is
man,
it
it's all
Spanish
Spanish.
only?
Yeah, so that's why I had to pick up
Oh, so
Spanish. You know
is
what I
that
mean?
a now? It's a great language to speak.
Yeah, I mean it definitely
I
was
don't know it,
difficult.
but
It definitely is a little bit difficult in the beginning, but now I can get by for sure. And that's the reason why I go out every day just to practice. Like after this call,
that's
I'm gonna
good.
go get my coffee, write my notes for the week, and
Nice.
watch the stock market take more of my money. You know what I mean? Shit.
Hey,
So
don't let
it's
it
the
take
work.
too much, right?
Oh man, it's been a bad week last week. So yeah. But
Yeah,
all right, man, Sean,
I
let's catch up again. Let's talk about some other stuff. Guys, I'm not
thank you,
sure
Ian. I
what to
appreciate
name.
today.
No problem, man. I don't even know what to name this digital nomad experience podcast chat or whatever yet. I gotta come up with a name.
I like that. You'll
So
get it. You always think of everything, you know. You're good at that.
true. Appreciate it. Love. Tell Tom and everybody what's up. Tang and everybody.
I will.
Right. So, all right,
Yeah.
guys.
I'll
Appreciate
make sure to
everybody.
say,
We'll talk
give
soon.
them all some love.
And Sean, appreciate it, man.
Adios.